This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hi folks, my name's David Edgar. I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you tonight, as always, after a match, although some of these videos are more fun to do than others, after Rangers went down 2-0 to USG over in Belgium in the first leg of the Champions League qualifier third round. That was a complete steaming turd of a performance from Rangers. Everything that they could have got wrong, they did. From the manager down to the players, everything went wrong. And in the end, although the USG second goal was a dreadful penalty decision, I don't think anyone with eyes could tell you that that wasn't a fair reflection of what happened. The manager will take a lot of criticism, deservedly so. He's got a lot right in Europe tactically, but tonight I think he got it wrong. I think he overthought it. He matched up against USG, and I understand doing that when you go and play a side like Red Bull Leipzig or you go and play a side like Borussia Dortmund, but I don't think it was necessary against a side who were well organised and who were hungrier than us, unfortunately, for the win. But I don't think they're a great side. I'd love to stand here and use the comfort blanket of, well, look what we were playing, but I'm afraid I can't. To me, they looked a decent side, no more than that. But Rangers were a shambles. The manager went three at the back, which meant John Lundstrom was in there, and he was joined by Connor Goldson and James Sand, and that meant a midfield of Ryan Jack and Jack Kamara, which might as well have not turned up tonight. Ryan Jack didn't look fit. I thought he was a yard off the pace the whole game. And as I've mentioned before on here, a personal opinion is that the manager seems to think that Glenn Kamara can play as a number 8 or a number 10. I don't. And I've asked him about it in the past, and he says, Glenn's really comfortable in there. But it meant Rangers had absolutely no threat in the middle of the park, and it also meant that defensively we weren't getting a grip of it either. So it left us in a wee bit of no man's land. Up front, Malik Tillman was excellent. He tired eventually, but he was the only one. Cholak got no service whatsoever, and Matondo had a debut to forget. He was terrible tonight. Rangers badly missing Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos. But even so, with the players that Rangers had available, we should have been able to do a lot better. First 10-15 minutes were fine, actually. Rangers controlling the game, a lot of the ball. But at that point, it was almost like USG had kind of waited to see what we had to offer and then stepped it up, and Rangers' defending was comical. We could have been a goal down after an early attack, and then when we were, it was just an atrocious goal. Rangers didn't clear the lines. Borna Barisic, who had another shocker, seemed to get out of the way of the USG player, and then their captain had time in the box to take a touch, line up a shot and hit it. It takes a deflection off Connor Goldson, but I still think John McLaughlin should be doing better with it, although he would partially redeem himself with some good saves in the second half, and he needed to. I couldn't believe the manager didn't change it at half-time. I really couldn't. I don't know what he was seeing. There were no changes until the 66th minute, and I can't understand why, because I don't know what he was seeing that he thought Rangers could turn it around. Rangers made very few chances. One in the first half, Cholak should score. A chipped ball in from Tillman, a lovely ball in that he doesn't quite read the flight and doesn't get anything on. In the second half, Cholak, after a decent move involving Tavan Kamara, spins and fires right across goal, but there's no takers. That is literally it, folks. That was literally it. Rangers just posed no danger. The players tonight suffered, I think, a collective failure of performance, but also a bit of a failure of nerve. I think that they looked round at each other after half an hour, realised that they were all having a howler, and rather than that geeing them up, which I think it would have done domestically, I think because of the stakes involved in this match, instead they panicked and they froze, and the passing got worse. There was no movement. It was all that safe, extra touch stuff, and occasionally our passing was so inaccurate we'd lose the ball and it would lead to a chance for USG. The second goal was unfortunate from our point of view. The ball ricochets off of Ben Davis and hits Connor Goldson. On the arm maybe, but I still think from the replays I've seen on the chest. However, the referee goes, and VAR, which wasn't working in the first half and was fixed in the second, not sure how that works. But the referee goes and checks and awards it. The IFAB rules read that it's not a penalty if it comes off another part of a player's own body, or if it comes off a player who's close to him. Well, given that they were standing side by side, I don't understand how that decision was given, but penalty was rolled in and we were 2-0 down, and it could have been worse. McLaughlin's made another couple of saves. Every attack at this point, the Rangers defence looked panicky. And then in the very last minute, there was a wee bit of vindication for my men on the posts. I don't know, militancy when Tav cleared one, which probably would have put the tie to bed. Is it done? Probably not. We are still capable, certainly, of beating that side, when we're playing well, by 2 goals at Ibrox, at a packed Ibrox. But if we play like that, we're not capable of beating a team in the Premier League. Rangers were awful, and there's nothing you can take out of that performance tonight. The team was terrible, and you can take being outplayed by a better team. I don't think I can take being outplayed and outfought by a team that we should be better than, and that's what happened tonight. Gio has obviously thought about his tactics, but in the end what he's gone with was the wrong one, and football's a results-based business, so you see if it's right or not, and what we witnessed on the park tells us that it wasn't. I don't think we're totally out of it, but we are going to need to put in one hell of a shift next week. I am in my mid-40s now, and one day I'll see a Rangers team that starts a season quickly, but I don't think I've seen it so far. I don't know what it is, but it always happens, and there is an issue with this Rangers team about tempo. There's no doubt about that. There is an issue with this Rangers team about tempo. We start games badly too often, and it takes us domestically quite often for something bad to happen or the crowd to get on their back before they go up the level. We need to work on that, because we can't keep doing this. We can't keep giving ourselves mountains to climb. We've given ourselves a really big one ahead of next Tuesday, but as I say, had that third one gone in, but 2-0 with no away goals these days is not insurmountable, but it'll certainly present a challenge. Thank you very much for listening to me, folks. I'll be back to talk to you again on Saturday after Rangers take on Kilmarnock at Ibrox. Until then, bye-bye.